Hey there guys, it's Silver, your host, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be starting a little mini-series called Ramen Review, where, you guessed it, I am going to be reviewing ramen for the channel. I eat a lot of the stuff on weekends, so goodness knows it makes sense. And for our first one, we are going for some A1 Tom Yum noodles, which are pretty much shrimp, spicy shrimp, very spicy shrimp. So I'm going to get these open, get them on the boil, and then we'll sample, won't we? Alrighty, noodles are on the boil on a medium heat. Give them about 3 to 5 minutes and they should be good to go. Don't simmer them, just cook them gently, medium heat. 3 to 5 minutes. You don't want them going all soft. Alrighty. Noodles have had a little bit longer, about 7 or 8 minutes, and you can now see them just coming up to a nice boil. I'm going to get these plated up, and then we are going to sample. I also chucked in a small handful of cold water prawns from the freezer, just to add some flavour. Alrighty. It's ramen time. Let's start with some of the soup first, shall we? Start with some of that lovely soup first. Alright, soup time. Yeah. It's about as spicy as I remember it being. And those prawns really do add to the flavour. They really do add to the flavour big time. Let's go for another spoonful, shall we? Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That is definitely what I am talking about. Right. I'm trying to eat left-handed, which is not proving very, very fruitful here, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best with what I have. Let's go in for a fork full of noodles and take the spoon out. Okay. Ramen it up. Ramen it up. Yeah. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. They're still boiling hot because they've just come out the pan, but pretty decent. Pretty decent. Now, what am I detecting in terms of flavour here? You can already get that hint of spice in there because they are obviously spicy shrimp. They've got one heck of a kick to them. But there's also a hint of lime to it as well. These spicy shrimp noodles tend to have a hint of lime in the flavour, which gives it a really nice sort of balance. A very nice sort of balance. So you've got the kind of taste from the shrimp powder, the added prawns that I threw in, sort of amplifying that nice, really inoffensive sort of fish taste. Well, it doesn't, not the bad kind of fish, but, that really fresh kind of seafoody taste. And Luna is grumbling at me because she wants to eat some. So, I'm going to have another fork full of this. And if you guys would like me to try some more of these out, because these are A1 brand. A1 brand shrimp noodles. They're not expensive. They're about 35 pence a packet. 40 pence a packet, depending on which Asian supermarket you go to. And I have a very large Asian population right on my doorstep. Soup time. Like, the city that I live about probably 10 miles away from has a very big Chinese population. A very big Chinese population, so there is no end of options. Sorry. as I was saying, no end of options when it comes to Chinese supermarkets to get stuff from. Ramen, traditional Chinese ingredients. There's got to be at least 2 fairly sized and 1 small Chinese supermarket right on my doorstep. So I can stock up with, different types of ramen, some seafood, some seaweed, that kind of thing. If you would like to see some more of this ramen-y goodness, then feel free to let me know, and I will see what I can do for you. I'll get some more A1 brands, I'll get a few Japanese brands, get a couple of Korean brands as well, because there's a type of Korean ramen that I like called Seafood Party. I'm not sure about the company that makes it, their name, but it's called Seafood Party and it's really solid. So, where would I rate this ramen itself? In terms of the A1 brands, it's definitely up there as one of the nicer ones. I'd give it about a 7.5 out of 10. It doesn't really have much of a patch on some of the more high quality Japanese or Korean ramens, but it's a good starting point and it's one that I had spare in my cupboard. I need to restock. So I'd definitely recommend you give the A1 brands a try. They're originally, despite this being pretty much like a Thai, almost Thai shrimp inspired ramen, the A1 company is Vietnamese, so it's technically a Vietnamese ramen. But yeah, give them a shot. They're cheap, inoffensive, and I'm sure you can ship them in from many different places. Luna would really like some of this. Would really like some of this. Yes, she would. Do you want my noodles? Yes, she would. But they are so spicy that I would never forgive myself for giving them to her. Let me take a moment for thanking you all for stopping in. This has been our first proper little showcase of ramen, outside of my improvised stuff that I throw together. And yes, if you would like to see more, let me know. Thank you very much for stopping in, and I will, of course, go for one more forkful before we end. I'll see you in the next one. So guys, I have been Silver, your host. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon or night, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care, guys.